And it's a very good afternoon and welcome here to Blacktown International Sports Park. It's preliminary final day. It's Pennant Hills versus St George. And this should be a cracker. Absolutely perfect conditions for this afternoon's game. And there should be plenty of scoring opportunities. No breeze to speak of here at Blacktown. And the sun is shining. The ground is looking an absolute picture. And joining me up here in the commentary box, as always with Pennant Hills games, Gus McKernan. And Gus, you'll be excited about seeing some finals football.
I just really adore September. It's the best month of the year, and I'm looking forward to a great match today.
As we get underway, and straight away just a hold up in the middle. We go at it again. Delaquila now. Smith lays a good tackle, gives it up. And there was Ray. And Pennant Hills start going forward. Hay back onto it. And they go inside 50 for the first time, but led to the ball was Warringah Adiriwikrama. And I think it's Addison that's taken the mark in front of him. That'll be a big job for Addison. He'd be up to it though. Jones comes out to Craig. Just drops the mark over his shoulder. Good enough to go back and get it. And they go down the line. Delaquila just forces. That's not Delaquila, that was Cam Smith. Widmer in there as well. Gives it off, and Smith again to Adiriwikrama. Goes down the line. Carey just goes through his feet. And Tomlin's back on it for the Saints. Or the Dragons, however you want to name them this afternoon. And plenty of tackling pressure from the Demons already. Smith goes in and gets it again. He's been lively early. Delaquila trying to get it scrubbied forward. Does so now. Just doesn't sit properly there for Witt. And now St George under some pressure. And the ball goes out of bounds. A boundary throw in.
Several changes in the team lineups. Peter Barnes comes in for the injured Matthew Thomas for Pennant Hills. And for St George, Jason Saddington and David Lakakis, two big outs into the side today for St George. Daniel Tomlins and...
As Delaquila, sorry Gus, Delaquila throws it on the boot, trying to go for goal. And it's just over the thing. Adiriwikrama spins around, might have the first score of the day. He does. In fact, he doesn't. Just clips the top of the behind post.
And after a long absence from any sort of football, Declan Donahue returns for St George.
It's fantastic to see Declan out there, but a big loss in Saddington. Can't replace that sort of experience in a side. Good work there from Widmer, brings it to ground. Goodall overruns it. Wales now, they're doing all the attacking at the moment, the Demons. But St George, a little breathing space. Going down to Nick Ryan, couldn't bring it in. On his hammer right there is Shepherd. Dropped in front of him. Players converge now. Good pick up running through now. Goodall dishes out the back. Nice work to Kieran Wright. Goes down the line. Over the top there of Witt. In there as well. He is sharp for the Dragons, but it's Pennant Hills to go forward and a mark's taken. And some good work there from Tom Angel. And he'll have another shot on goal for the Demons. Could be too far out to score, Gus.
Well, he looked to dish it off, but thought better of it. So let's see how he goes with it. I think it's just on Tom's range.
Always a good indicator when the eyes flick around the forward line, just to see what else is on offer. Angel, measured approach now. Steps over the paint and lets it go. It's online. Has it got the legs? It has. Beautiful kick from Angel. He's got the first on the board for the Demons, and they lead by 6 points.
Yes, Pennant Hills have all the attack so far, and it's taken a while for the first goal to come up. Well, not that long, 2 minutes 30 seconds, but that's a good reward for consistent attacking football.
Yes, they've dominated the possession count so far, the Demons. And they get the goal on the board. Of course, if you're joining us online, watching this live from Blacktown International Sports Park, and you're on Twitter, throw us a line at AFL Sydney, or just drop a line in the chat box, the comment box in YouTube, as the Dragons go forward for the first time. And they're now working it through Napa. A little short kick in, not a great penetrating kick. Good enough there to pick it up, though, was Merson. Swings around It brings around too far and it dribbles over the boundary line. There'll be a boundary thrown beside the post. You'd love to know where you're listening, where you're watching from. And fantastic to bring you all these games live in the final series. And of course, next week, a big week in AFL Sydney. We'll bring you all the grand finals live as Nick Ryan takes it out of the ruck. It's a kick away, but it's smothered off the boot. Some good work from Sharp. It goes wide again. Of course, Gus, we were just talking before we went on air. Tomorrow night, Feel and Medal night, which will be live streaming as well. And you have some sort of record there, Gus.
Yes, tomorrow night sees 38 consecutive appearances at the Feel and Medal. And it's a night I certainly enjoy. It's one of the real highlights of the Sydney football calendar.
You get to have a drink at the Feel and Medal too, Gus. As the St George go again, just off the outside of the boot, but who's home? Kieran Wright. Certainly tongue-in-cheek there, Gus. I'm sure he let the hair down a little bit at Feel and Medal.
Just a little bit.
Oh, good tackle applied. And bounces beautifully there for Wilson, but the umpire said it's bounced out of bounds. And could have been holding the ball. I thought he was stiff not to get the free kick there, Wilson.
Interesting to see one of the St George inclusions, Tomlins, matched up on Matthew Carey.
Ball comes in. We've played nearly 6 minutes of this first term. Pennant Hills lead by 6 points. Coming through again. They come back now through the agency of Harrison Green. Drives them inside 50 again. Big punch from behind from Lloyd Shepherd. Eventually goes over the boundary line.
Shepherd's been in superb defensive form, as has Kieran Wright for Pennant Hills through the final series.
In the earlier game, UTS went through to the grand final. They'll play Balmain in Division 1. And wrapped up here. Umpire will come in and ball it up. But there's a free kick given. The umpire off the ball's called it in the back. Carl Fletcher, the umpire there. And Dean Gilbert will get the free kick right in front of goals. Tough call. It's a good kick at goal, Gilbert. This one hangs out the right, though, and it stays out there, offline. Just the one behind.
Yet to see the appearance of Declan Donahue for St George. I'm sure he's itchy to get started, though.
Good lead, good kick there. Right to Carey. Well down the ground, Matt Carey. Chiseling kick forward is a good one. And they move it well. To Witt. To Witt. And pushing forward, hard mark there coming through. Sun in the eyes for Angel. And 3:30 start. The Sun's in just a little different spot as we go into September. Shepherd across to Kieran Wright. Parker in assistance. He ends up getting it back, Parker. They go back to Shepherd. They're playing with a little bit here. Back to Wright on the right boot. And not a great kick. Turns it over. And Gilbert, the recipient. Now they go forward. That's a more penetrating kick from St George. That's where they lack that Saddington presence, but it comes out to Napa. Napa pops over. They've got players lining up here. Nick Ryan picks it up onto the boot, gets it, some sort of kick to Green. Green spins around and kicks the goal for St George, and they take the lead early in this first quarter.
That was fine defensive pressure there on the 50-metre arc from the St George defence. We had Shepherd and Wright and Parker playing Ringa-Rosie. Eventually they surrendered possession, and the turnover resulted in a pretty good goal for St George. Hard-fought one, but great defensive pressure earlier on that created the opportunity.
St George get their first of the afternoon. They lead by a point. And it was just a sheer weight of numbers there in favour of the Dragons. Back in the middle, Widmer wins this one down, but it only goes as far as Green. Eventually gets it back and drives forward. There's Wilson. He's a live wire up forward. And this one he just runs out of a bit of space. And the ball will be thrown in. Cracking day here today. You would think we've had a couple of weeks of rain. The ground looks absolutely sensational. And it will be a picture come grand final day as well, I'm sure. Widmer wins this one forward, but once again, it's the Dragons midfield that sharks it away. They get it through. Now McBride goes back to Frangos. Frangos goes back even further to Milner, but his kick is smothered. They've been driven back at the moment by the Pennant Hills defence. Witt gets it back to Delaquila. They spin it around, and there's a free kick on the play. It's going to go to Pennant Hills, and it will come back. It will be a downfield free kick, in fact, and Delaquila will take the kick. Look further upfield. St George have got 2 extra players back, so he gets to go lateral to Goodall. They can't just bomb this one in. There's too many Dragons in defence, and that's exactly what he does. And that's all right to have people in defence, but you can't just get the little kicks in. The kick comes in now, and there they are. McBride set perfectly for that, and goes further afield. And a good mark taken by Andrew Sharp. Goes short, just opening up a bit of space. Just bowls for Jones cleanly, and the Demons swoop. Wales in there, coming clear with it. Smith trying to get it forward. Scrubby kick going forward. It could have been a free kick there. The umpire didn't see it. Angel now been lively, and look at him go. Picks it and runs. Gives it back to Wales on the left. Going inside. Oh, it worked out beautifully there for Crisfield. Gets it forward now. Zickman has to handball it back, and the Dragon defence stands tall. And Craig gets it out into some space. Now a chance to come down this near side. Umpire's seen a free kick. They'll go to the Dragons. They play on quickly. It's 3-on-1 here. Wright leads the chase back. On his hammer is Green. Pops it over to Angel. Angel now further afield, but the kick's sharked. And well read by Alex Wynn. They go inside. A bit false start for Tomlins. And the kick downfield's a good one, but it's read beautifully by Seb Parker. And the Demons now back in defence. Not a great kick. Set a task for Adiri Wickrama. Comes clear. In there is Hay. He's tackled, dispossessed. Beautiful work there from the Dragons to get the ball going forward. But Parker again gets it in. Adiri Wickrama at his bootlaces. Good enough to go and get it though. On the left, out wide, sets a task for Crisfield, and he's up to it. Moves it on quickly. And Rod Craig leading the chase of the ball. Been very good in defence for the Dragons over many years. In the back, it's a call, and it'll be a Dragon free kick.
This is marking up on Zickman. Craig, he was very effective on him 2 weeks ago in the qualifying final.
Dangerous can be, as Crisfield does well to chuck that one first grab off the ground. Goes to Wales, just over his head though. And now the Dragons with a little bit of run. They got the pace here. Has to run. And it's just a foot race. The bounce kills him though. And again, the Demons out of a bit of trouble. Wales getting plenty of it early. Not a great kick. Gets it forward though. Comes out in the path of Angel. Angel's handball leaves a bit to be desired. Maybe all right here. Gets it back. Wants to get it clear. Does so. Napper into space, and that's a good result for the Dragons as the ball goes out of bounds. Still persisting with loose player in defence. Now the Dragons, but there's one coming off now. Gilbert will go on for a run. And now Widmer trying to get some space out here. Wales just puts it on further afield. Over the top of Hay. Gilbert lively, straight into it. Now for Jones. He's tackled by Witt. The ball spills free. Goodall snags it. Goes forward. Scrubby kick though. Zickman just can't quite get there. Craig also working hard. And the ball just bouncing around now like a pinball. Frangos is wrapped up in a tackle. And the umpire will ball it up. Had 2 goals, Gus, and then a lot of football played between the 2 arcs.
Yes, that's certainly true.
Schooler in the ruck on this occasion. And wrapped up straight away. We'll have another ball up. West up against Schooler. West just uses his body, but Schooler reads it well. Out of the ruck there goes Goodall. Tries to get it up. He does so Ray now back in front of Schooler. Good read there. Wales went hard. Angel, the recipient. Oh, good show. Gets around his opponent. Puts it up for Witt. In fact, it's Widmer up there. And Ray's there. Jones for the Dragons. Just pops it out in front. Just tackling has been intense so far. And the umpire will say holding the ball here. Just didn't make an attempt. I don't mind if you really make an attempt, but when you just stand there and pretend to be tackled, the umpires will ping you.
Yes, 17-year-old Nick Hay with the football. I believe he spent the week in Queensland, or Brisbane particularly, preparing with the Swans for the NEFL final, but did not play. We're happy to have him back here at Pennant Hills.
There we go again. Oh, some good work. That was Widmer. Teddy throws his weight around. Good, strong in there was Wynn. Diriwick Rama quickly off the boot. Too quickly, out of bounds on the full. This was a exciting game up there, apparently, the NEFL Grand Final.
I'm not aware of the result, Craig.
Aspley won the result. They kicked the goal after the siren to win it. Every footballer's dream. Fortunately, the live stream had some problems, and we didn't get to see it. By the way, I hope you're enjoying the Sydney AFL live stream here as Smith goes inside to Crisfield. Back to Wales. Some good skills there. They go forward. Widmer with sun in his eyes. Coming through, trying to make a way through was Hodgson there for the Dragons. Good work at ground level from Witt. Now Carey's troubled out of it. West up again to Hodgson. And they find some space. This is Shaw. Has one bounce. Goodall in tow. It's away from him. And good kick though. In fact, a good result. There's going to be a free kick to Kieran Wright. I thought the kick was out of Kieran's area well enough. Sometimes those long bombs inside Kieran reads so well. And got the free kick anyway. And up they go. Umpire calls play on. No options whatsoever further afield. One presents itself now. And that's not a great kick. Pressure came from the Dragons. Dropped out there. Carey pounces. Gets it back there to Barnes. Barnes now to Schooler. Tries to invent something going around. Carey's tackled and tackled hard. And eventually the ball goes out of bounds. Matt Carey, Gus, hasn't really reached the heights that we've seen in previous years. Of course, a previous Phelan medal winner.
Yes, he's a pretty well-marked player and has been for several seasons.
He is a big-time player, and this is big-time games. Kilworth kicks it inside, not a great kick over the back. And Irwin takes the relieving mark for the Demons. Comes out this far side, a well-weighted kick, beautifully positioned. And Shepherd led well. Swings around on the preferred left, but too big. Mark taken by just Wynn there. Wilson hit hard as he kicked it, but he's found a player all on his own. And this is Merson. And Carl Merson, who's had a stellar year.
Yes, he certainly had a good game last week in their victory over Sydney University.
You kick from just on 50 metres. Be a big effort. Breeze probably picked up a little bit coming straight towards the camera. Hard to tell up here though. He steps just from 51. Distance not an issue. Just pulled it to the left. 1 goal, 6 plays. 1 goal, 2, 8. Dragons. Gets me these two names that start with D. Right. Goes long, straight down the middle, and perfectly weighted. Didn't look like it came off the boot properly, but sometimes that's the way it goes. Shepherd gives off, gets it back, picks up an extra stat. Angel, the sun, a real issue going forward there. And something to learn. Oh, that is just ugly as Angel's taken out. Quick look at it here. not good. The kick comes in now. Top of the 50, just didn't take the mark. Green with a big sweeping handball out of defence. Now Kilworth with a bit of run. Gives it to Frangos. Could have gone back to Kilworth. They've got some space to run into here now. Sitting up nicely. Here's Merson again. Turns it around. Good work there from Kieran Wright. He's going to give away the free kick. In fact, no, it's going to go the other way. Merson thought, and I thought, might have been in the back. But Kieran Wright comes away with it and sees Angel in space on this near side.
Wright did a marvellous job in rounding up Merson that time. That was real danger for the Pennant Hills defence.
Got to watch that. They've found a couple of times now. St George found some run through the middle. That one sits up ugly. There might be a little breeze kicking up out there now, Gus, that we're not aware of up here in the perch. That one set up very strangely. And there he is, Declan Donahue. First time we've seen him on the coverage. Great to see him back. Fantastic servant for the St George Footy Club over many, many years. Free kick here. It's going to go to St George. Umpire was a little confused. He's going to put one arm up. Eventually went back to the other, and I think Gilbert will take the kick. He wants to go central. Not a bad option. Sets a task, and over the back, Kieran Wright punches it away, but doesn't clear the area. Ball spills free now. Angel goes again. They get it back out. That one was a big sweeping handball to Nick Ryan. Good work in the end. Puts it up. Needs to take a mark. Donahue, second grab, spins it around. Look at this. Which way will it bounce? Badly for the Dragons. And just the minor score.
He bounced on the ball very, very quickly, Declan Donahue.
Tell you what, he didn't look like he's lost anything there. He spun around and worked that around beautifully, Donahue.
Got the cruel bounce, though.
Has played a lot of football across half back, but I mean, let loose in the forward line this afternoon. It'll be interesting to watch. Good mark by Lloyd Shepherd. Goes inside. Not a great kick, but look at the result. Oh, Angel just went without it. Went back and got it, though. Wrapped up in a tackle now. You want to be careful. He's jumped on it there. The umpire will come in and ball it up. And we'll have a ball up at 22-minute mark of the first term. Just the 2 goals scored. It won't be a long quarter. And a typical finals first opening term. Gus?
Yes, with the reward in the grand final next week to play Manly, the reigning premiers. Can't detect much breeze, but there may be some there. I can see
bit of movement in the trees
at the
behind
railway
the goals.
end there.
Yeah.
There's some movement there.
Comes down Goodall, trying to bustle his way through. Goes back again. Or sits up, sold it before he had it there, did Green. But eventually they get it going forward. Over the top there from Jones, trying to put it in the path of Kilworth. Kilworth takes him high. And you want to be careful here. Umpire's giving away the 50 too.
You commented on the ground surface earlier, Craig. It's an immaculate surface on this ground. Very, very well prepared. The cricket wicket area is covered after each game, so receive a lot of close attention.
Parker drives him inside the mark. Almost taken there. In fact, he's going to claim it, Crisfield, and he's going to be given it. You look at the free kick. Moves the ball quickly, and Crisfield's taken the mark. Will kick from about 40 metres out. Have a look up. There is quite a bit of movement in the trees behind the goal, so I wouldn't be surprised. Ball is just going to float around a bit. The flutter of the jersey as well. Crisfield gives it plenty of air. We'll be able to read it. Goes left, though. No side really mounting any scoreboard pressure at the moment. So we wait to see which of these two teams will take the bull by the horns and open up in one of those games. Just trying to get a sense. Either side not willing to give away anything. This one might be out of bounds. In fact, it is. And Jesus made some ground, though. The kick came 80 metres plus out from goals. And Schooler will take the kick for Pennant Hills. Oh, that one's come in. Will it go back out? No, it won't, but the siren will sound. So at quarter time here in this preliminary final, it's been a dour contest so far. Plenty of tackling pressure and plenty of players not willing to give an inch. And as we go into the quarter time break, the margin 2 points in favour of St George. Pennant Hills 1-1-7 and St George 1-3-9. The margin, as we said, 2 points. And it's going to be an interesting game. Make sure you jump on to Twitter. Send us your comments at AFL Sydney or even just in the comments box of the YouTube stream. And join us back here in about 5 minutes' time. We'll bring you all the action from the second quarter.
Yeah, I think so. Well, good. You'll be all right.
All in readiness here at Blacktown International Sports Park for the start of the second term. As we ran a fine-tooth comb over that quarter, Gus, in the break, and really nothing to report for either side. No team really showed their hand in that quarter.
Defence is well on top. St George looked dangerous several times when they brought the ball down the middle and create into a lot of space, but they just couldn't convert their opportunities.
Only 2 goals scored for the quarter as we're underway in the second, and straight away it's the Demons who get it out of the middle, but there's that loose man in defence for St George. And they will get it back straight back out. Having to go wide though. Angel under a bit of pressure there was Nick Shaw, and eventually it comes out of his fingertips and over the boundary line. First team to just open this game up and get the advantage and bring it down. Coming through there under a bit of pressure was Hay. Spun in the tackle, still at ground level though. Get it clear, only in the arms of Angel. He's wrapped up quickly by Nick Shaw, and the umpire will have it. A little bit of a lull in the game, bit going on off the ball.
A lot of close-in tackling.
West over the top. Adiri Wickrama tries to shark it away, couldn't quite get full control. They go forward now. Kilworth gets around one. Oh, beautiful smother from Adiri Wickrama. And the ball goes out of bounds.
Yes, that was a wonderful smother. It's often said that those small things in football are what makes a difference, particularly in finals.
Ball comes back in. West up against Widmer. Comes down. Angel tried to run through the tackle. Goodall gets the free kick, pushing the back. And he wants to move it quickly. He's got Wales making some space through the middle. Now Hay, but nothing really, so he goes longer again to a contest. Plenty of St George hands here. And a good mark taken by Sharp. I want to play this near wing. Goes down. The intended target's Green. Kieran Wright goes up. Could have taken the mark. It's not his first option anytime. Addison, that's an interesting handball. I don't know how that one got through the books. Goes back. Adiri Wickrama eventually gets it to boot, and they go forward. Nice little dish off there from Hay. Gives it across to Delaquila. Now with Carey on the left. Opens it up. Swings it around. May not have enough on it. And couldn't get it around enough. And just the minor score. Margin 1 point. Better from the Demons, though. You get the feeling someone like Adiri Wickrama is going to be the one to open this up. He stepped over the line. And he should at least level the scores.
That's a fatal mistake.
Always just amazes me what the extra metre really gets you.
Yeah, why would you take an extra 7 or 8 centimetres to... No, there's no logic in it.
Just a misread. Schooler in the right. West, they line up. West just wants to bring it back. Probably not the option. Wales just dropped it on the first attempt. Now Adiri Wickrama goes back, opens it up. Nice little vision there. Tried to get it to Ray. Has to do the tackling now and does a good job at it. Umpire will say holding in. And Ray, well, you want to be careful doing that. Sometimes be construed as time wasting. Umpires don't like it. Give them the benefit of the doubt this time. West against Widmer. Widmer gets in front. Wales pops it up. Not really to anyone in particular. Now Delaquila is troubled out of it by Gilbert. His kick is smothered off the boot as well. Delaquila goes again, gets it back in the path of Wales. Wales up to Goodall. Goodall has a look. Ugly looking kick off the boot while it's striking. No, it won't. And offline, scores level here in this, the prelim final. Quickly move it, St George. And that one's sharked again. Kieran Wright read it beautifully with his opposite number in Tom Green.
It's one of his trademarks, Kieran Wright, reading the play. He's very, very astute.
What isn't one of his trademarks is goal scoring. Jeez, he's getting it from the hill. Pops it up, top of the square, and over the back. Smothered there off the head of Milner. Should pick up who must be either St George over there on the hill under the scoreboard. They're certainly giving it to Kieran Wright. West, very good in the ruck. Merson, the recipient, just couldn't get it clear. Goes again, pops it out. Now into the path there is Sharp. And over the boundary line. Just having a look around, Gus. It looks like the Manly boys have taken their position over there on the stairs. They'll be looking on with great interest.
They would indeed.
West gets this one clear. They quickly get it off the boot. Angel leads the race. Comes off hands, though. And getting back there, Nick Ryan. Oh, the big show. And an ugly, scrubby kick going forward. Put too much emphasis on the blind turn. And not enough on the kick.
Manly already in the grand final, courtesy of their 3-point win against Pennant Hills on Saturday last in the second semi.
Widmer works his way to the front, down to Crisfield. Quickly gets it on the boot. Underneath it, they form, and a good mark taken by Hay. Quickly moves the ball. Have a look at this. It opened up beautifully. Has a shot. This was Barnes, and has just pushed it to the left. But they take the lead, Pennant Hills. They lead by 1 point. St George under pressure now. They go to McBride. Goodall at the back, clumsy. And the umpire says so in the back, and McBride will get the kick. It's not disguised enough there, Gus. It's hard for a bloke 5'4" to spoil a bloke at 6'9".
Yeah, Pennant Hills have wasted several opportunities. Gold-plated that last one from Barnes.
How he found that space running forward, we don't know. Worrying signs for St George through here. Oh, good mark. Almost taken there, Nick Ryan. Pops clear. Wynn gets it forward and eventually over the boundary line. Right in front of us here. Just see there, Angel and Witt waiting to come on. Angel steps on. Now, 1-1 contest, and they just underrun it a bit, and eventually gets to Angel. Has to go by hand. Beautiful handball in front there of Widmer. Sits up nicely for him. Wants to go by hand. Didn't want to have a look at the goals, and the kick was a good one. And this now might be an opportunity.
Well, Barnes gets his second chance for a goal inside of about a minute and a half. Last time on the run, this time a set shot.
Peter Barnes. Popular, famous name there in the Pennant Hills ranks.
Oh, yes. His father, Greg, played a lot of football with Pennant Hills and then coached.
His kick is a good one. And Pennant Hills take the lead by 7 points thanks to that Peter Barnes goal.
Yes, he got a good sighter just a moment ago on the run. And that kick was from a wee bit further out. Set shot, but this time, no mistake. The Pennant Hills forward line have battled very, very hard to get that goal. First goal for them in this second quarter. They now lead by 7 points. 2 goals, 4-1-3.
They've dominated possession in the second quarter, Pennant Hills. And it now shows on the scoreboard. They take a 7-point lead at the 8-minute mark of the term. Comes up again, McBride puts it in the path though. Goodall, Delaquila. And Crisfield's got some space here, takes a good mark. Now he's got runners coming through. He wants to move it quickly, does so now. Sits it up. Underneath this is that Schooler. And umpire didn't pay the mark. Well, that's an interesting decision. Must have been a touch in there. And St George, through the boot of Craig, get it clear.
Well, the defender Milner thought it was a touch, so he immediately tackled Schooler.
George under a bit of pressure now. They go short to McBride. Not a great finesser of the football, and that one puts his teammate under pressure. And it's good enough to stand up. Schooler there, the unwilling smother, just kicked it into his breadbasket. And now they get some space clear. And the ball trickles out in front there of the Manly boys. St George have done well here to get this one keeping forward, but that's unforgivable, that handball. And Wales.
Parker. Now the hands almost of Crisfield.
Now he's been very handy out here in this. He just seems to find 10 or 15 metres each time the ball comes forward. Goes back inside to Delaquila. Has a look at his opponent. Has nothing forward, so goes backwards. Back to Crisfield. It's opened up a little bit. He's got one long if he wants to go to it. Now he's in trouble. Gets it around. Gets it on now to That was Angel. Angel puts it up high. Now, they've had enough time. There could be a free kick here. He's signalled a Shepherd. Somehow, oh, it's against St George. I thought
it's in the hands of Dan Witt. I think he got a bit of high over the shoulder in the marking contest.
The signal was definitely for a Shepherd. Oh, there it is there. It probably is a high contact. He's just interpreted as a Shepherd.
The qualifying final in the last quarter, the goal scoring machine Dan Witt popped one through to give Pennant Hills the lead from almost the same place.
Comes in now, looks good off the boot, hangs out to the left though. And just the minor score. 2 goals, 5 now, Gus. They've had their opportunities.
They have indeed. It's probably a little bit generous in describing Dan Witt as a goal scoring machine, but the goal he kicked here 2 weeks ago to give Pennant Hills the lead in the qualifying final against St George was one to treasure.
St George now out to Sharp. Sharp's short kick. Finds. There was Hodgson. Hodgson's outside again. They've worked it outside 50. This was short kicks, but this one lets them down and they've turned it over. Hay. It's to go long, and the umpire's seen something here. In fact, he's played on over the boundary line, and the boundary umpire right onto it. He's sticking his hand up for a grand final, the boundary umpire on the far side.
I'd say that is super technical. You see players almost every time kicking the ball from outside the boundary line, never called for playing on.
McBride and Widmer. Going to be a big battle, that one. Smith, Angel, picks it. Adiri Wickrama trying to run through. He might have been held without it. Umpire says it's okay. And again they go. Overrunning it was Shaw. And the Adiri Wickrama ends up with it. Tries to go short, and well-weighted kick finds Widmer, who just snuck forward. Now they go outside. Wide out towards Angel, but just there was Zickman and couldn't pick the handle. Puts his arms out. I'm not sure what he was asking about. Maybe a little bit of frustration. Hasn't seen much of the football, Zickman.
No, he's been very well guarded by Rod Craig.
Comes McBride, takes it out of the ruck, handballs over the top. Eventually gets it to Frangos. Frangos up to Merson. Merson down the line. Good work from Shepherd, gets it down. Green's wrapped up in a tackle by Nick Hay. And out of bounds. Nick Hay's one of those players who you almost need to say both his names every time he gets it, because just call Hay. It's just a bit wrong.
It could be misconstrued as
Hey.
not knowing who he is.
Hey.
Hey, you.
In there is Angel. He's beset upon. The umpire, 100 metres off the ball, seen a free kick. He's come in to explain what it was. And Angel is the recipient. They go short. Out there is Smith. Drives them long, looking for Zickman. Just being absolutely killed there by Craig. The kick comes forward, though. Offline.
Off Ted Widmer's boot. Almost bounced the right way.
Come out. This is an interesting kick. They got a hand to it, so they'll get away with it. It was intended for Daniel Napper. He had Parker right on his hammer. I'd be happy to see that touched over the line. Widmer and McBride reacquaint themselves. McBride with the second touch out in front. The only taken without it there was Jones, but Wins jumped onto it, and the umpire... I don't think this umpire interprets the old dragging the ball in quite the same as the other two, Gus. Interesting to see how that pans out. And now Angel, he balked around nobody there, but he did it well. Drives it forward. Nice bounce, though. Zickman could have been in the back. And umpire Kalazic right onto it. And Zickman will get his first opportunity at this end.
Well, after 14 minutes of play...
Not a goal scored. Zickman made to go quickly. His option dried up, and then he had to just throw it on the boot. They go forward. Trying to push through there was Shaw. Merson could have been held. They dive onto it again now. And the umpire will come in and ball it up.
Now, after 14 and a half minutes, St George have not scored. And there is a breeze coming up. It's hard to tell which way it's favouring, though.
Comes forward. Well, the play as it is hasn't really... There's not been those big long kicks or kicks from outside 50. It's just been this sort of...
A lot of scrambling, hard tackling, in close.
So the wind's really not a factor in that style. But Pennant Hills are certainly doing all the taking. Crisfield sharks this out of the ruck, one-handed. Back on the left boot. Goal of the day so far, Aaron Crisfield. And Pennant Hills jump out to a 15-point lead.
My goodness, they had to earn that. They've had all the ball in the forward line this quarter. St George, I think, went to their near 50 arc once. It was turned back immediately. So 15 minutes have gone and very little scoring, but Pennant Hills have done the scoring. They've kicked 2 goals, 5. Wasted a number of opportunities, but nevertheless, the ball has been in their attacking zone.
How did he get that through? It was like threading the needle. He had 2 players right in front of him. And, well, in St George there, they do claim touched. Wasn't the most hearty claim. And Crisfield was having none of it.
So Pennant Hills 3 goals, 6 lead. St George 1 goal, 3.
Back in the middle, 16 minutes played in this second term. And it's been all Demons. Adiri Wickrama now in the middle. He's beset upon by Gilbert and Merson. And the umpire says, I'll have it. No real opportunity there. A good goal by Crisfield. Just sharked out of the ruck one-handed. And Demons now 15 points in front. Adiri Wickrama can be so dangerous. Goes back inside for Widmer. Now West, he couldn't quite find it. He applies the tackle. Umpire will come in again.
Very ambitious handball attempt there from Adiri Wickrama.
One contests around the ground. No real loose players in this. Now Crisfield again. He's been dangerous in this. Been playing sort of a deep, not deep, sort of down the ground forward pocket. And good mark. Nick Shaw could be second whistle. Umpire just explaining the technicalities. And now Shaw, well, that's unforgivable. As Nick Hay gets it. Goodall pops it up to Angel. Stops, props, goes around backwards. Now goes back to Angel. Now to Schooler on the left. Crisfield in the area. And the mark had to be taken, and it was by Sharp. And just relieve a bit of the pressure, St George, but they're under plenty as the Demons go forward. Kick down the field. West was the target and just punched clear. 3-6 plays 1-3. Margin 15 points. Approaching the 18-minute mark of this, the second term. Not a high-scoring affair, but it's been entertaining nonetheless. West goes and gets it, gives it to Gilbert, not clear. Adiri Wickrama pounces, goes forward to Angel. Angel now drives them inside. Zickman the target, he'll push away and almost take the mark. Milner gets it out of the trouble zone. There's plenty of red and white around this, but they just need to link up. Gilbert gives it out. And not a bad kick there from Sharp. But he's turned it over, and Merson just trying to inject his attitude, I suppose, into the game. Comes in and disagrees. Probably best to go and get the footy. As Nick Ryan takes a mark, 70 out. Straightens them up. In through the middle, not a great kick. Opens it up, an opportunity for Witt to spoil the party. Bounces over the top of Shaw's head. Eventually gets it forward. Top of the 50 arc, they come. Good courage going back. Parker, Merson on his tail. Parker dispossessed. Want to be careful here. Can't just put your arms out like that. The umpire will see it and will bounce it up. Here's my mate.
Very strange signal from the umpire then. I couldn't figure out what his decision was initially.
In fact, he was running in, definitely wasn't holding the ball. They love that little lock and load from about 30 away from the contest when they do that. Crisfield. There's a decision here. It's going to go to Crisfield. I thought Crisfield might have initiated the contact there and dragged his his opponent down.
Umpire took some time to award the free kick.
Well, it's the umpire off the ball. And they get in here. What's the decision here? It's going to be a St George free kick. It's against Zickman. A few people unsure of what the decision was in front of us, Gus.
Yes, a trifle confusing.
Yeah, of the defensive zone, and a good mark taken from West. He's starting to stand up a little bit and take some important marks across midfield. Goes forward again. And they stream forward. And ball is to get in there, but Pennant Hills are going back there as well. Wales, but West. Well, that's why he was just treading water, Gus. He's waiting for the big fella, Jordan West, to come and get the second kick.
He's a pretty impressive young player, Jordan West. Comes from good stock. His father being a Phelan medalist of, I think, sometime in the late 80s, early 90s. He was a fine player for many seasons at St George.
Jordan West desperately need this one, and for all their dominance in this quarter, Pennant Hills, this could reduce the margin back to 9 points. Looks at the goals, just fades it right, and it won't score. In fact, it'll be a mark to Nick Ryan. So a good result eventually for St George. Ryan goes back inside and finds, that's Green, Harrison Green, and he'll kick from 50. Oh, went to go. The umpire was looking the other way.
Now he's called play on. And
he eventually gets a kick, but didn't have the distance. That's why he wanted to play on. Smith for the Demons, and out of the danger zone. Chris Field, oh, beautifully bounces for him. He's up there against, I think it's Shaw, and a good tackle, and the umpire says too high, and he won't let it play on, so Chris Field will get the kick.
Tardy defence there from Pennant Hills a moment ago to give that kick to Harry Green. He was clearly all alone for too long.
Well, the first one to allow Nick Ryan to take the mark on the goal line, essentially. Chris Field goes 15.1 to Parker. Parker wide to Diriwick Rama. Great kick. Now he drives them inside. Where's Zickman? Couldn't quite get to that one. Here's Lloyd Shepherd going forward. Angel, he had his head over it. Had plenty of time now. They're vocal, the Pennant Hills supporters this afternoon, Gus.
Oh, yes, we've got a few former umpires in our ranks by the sound of it.
Future umpires as well, it looks like.
Would-be umpires.
Sharp takes the mark. Short to Hodgson. Hodgson now goes looking for Ryan at the back. West again, almost took the mark. Now Goodall gets it around his shoulder, throws on the left boot, going forward. Sharp goes back, tries to get it clear. Angel's wrapped up in a big tackle and just ragdolled over the line. And good work there from Ben Sharp. Ben and Andrew, the two Sharps back there. A little lull. Once again, only 4 goals scored. And that off the back of a 6-goal game, I think it was last week, Gus, for Pennant Hills versus the Manly Warringah Giants.
The scoring patterns bearing a lot of resemblance to last week. At halftime in the second semi-final, it was Manly 2 goals 8, Pennant Hills 3 goals 2.
Close to that now. As Nick Ryan comes out to meet it, and Kieran Wright just wraps him up. Kilworth tries to run away from trouble. Pops it back into trouble, though. Getting onto it there was Hare. Another name we've seen a lot of over the years. Not sure if he's any relation. Comes in again. West just bumped under it by Widmer. That was good work by him. Goes forward, almost sits for Angel. Derek Rahman went up a little bit early. Now Angel, and it could be a free kick high in the back. Which one do you want to take? The eventual signal was in the back. It was high contact to start with, though. And Angel will kick from dead in front.
Well, Tom Angel's got 1 goal to his name. Fired in from the other end in the first quarter from a similar position.
Angel. Just a matter of accuracy. Let Lets it go. Going to go left, I think. Oh, it's holding its line and goes straight through the middle, so I'm no judge of that. And Angel gets another one for Pennant Hills. And the margin out to 21 points.
Despite the low scoring, it's quite incredible. St George failing to score so far in the second quarter. Pennant Hills have battled hard. They've had the ball almost exclusively in their forward line for, well, quite a meagre result. 3 goals, 5 is the total of their score during the second quarter to date. But it's hard for a team to come back when the ball's never ever in their forward line. And that's the story of St George's quarter. They've had 1 shot at goal only.
25-minute mark. It looks like that may be their only score. Won't be too long to go, although they're going to get it out of the middle here. Scrubby kick going forward, and Cam Smith read it well, but just couldn't bring it in. Goes again. Could have been high. His umpires was right onto it. And Smith will get the kick. And they'd love to go in 21 points up at half-time, Gus.
Oh, yes, it's a very big break in the context of the scoring.
Widmer did well there to just knock it into his attacking zone. McBride, though, well, he's stripped of it. Adiru Igrama was in there. McBride goes again, just lays on it. It's not coming out of there. And we'll have a ball up on the 50-metre arc, Pennant Hill side of the ground. McBride wins that one out off someone's boot there. Could have been a mark. Sharp through the middle of it. That's not going anywhere because Kieran Wright was right underneath it. Although good work there coming in late was Green. And once again, Frangos dishes off to Hodgson. Hodgson out wide. They've got some space out here. Kilworth likes to run. Has one bounce. Now settles. Steps inside 50. And the siren's going to kill it. Mate. Unlucky there for St George as the halftime siren sounded. And as you said, Gus, unable to score at all in that quarter. St George, Pennant Hills piled on a few goals. The goal scorers, Gus, you've got them there.
Yes, the goal scorers to date, we have for Crisfield, he has 1 goal for Pennant Hills, as has Peter Barnes, Tom Angel with 2, and the sole goal kicker for St George, Harrison Green.
An entertaining half of football, and one that sees Pennant Hills go in 21 points ahead at half-time. We'll take a break here, and it'll be interesting to hear what comes out of the rooms at half-time. I'm sure the coach of St George will be none too happy with his charges in that second quarter. And as I said, we'll take a break here, but join us back in about 15 minutes time. We'll bring you all the action from the second half here on AFL Sydney Live. We're bringing you all the finals action. It's Pennant Hills by 21 points in the preliminary final. just about set here at Blacktown International Sports Park for the start of the third term. In a game that hasn't reached great heights so far, but it's been the determination of Pennant Hills to see them go into that halftime break 21 points ahead and set up a good charge for this, the second half, as they try and get the win and get another chance at the Manly Warringah Giants next week in the grand final. Just about to get underway, and interesting to see what St George have come up with at half-time, to see what they can do to try and wrestle themselves back into this game. Straight out of the middle they go. Good handball up, looking for Nick Ryan. It pops over the back to Green. Green has a shot on goal, not a great-looking kick, and drops short. And Irwin able to just get the scrubby kick out of defence and then back it up with a kick off the deck, and it'll sit nicely for Widmer, or will it? Doesn't really. McBride on his hammer, but he does well to get around it. McBride, though, good smother. Dish off. Now they're inside. Not sure about that kick, Gus. And Widmer troubled out of it. Nick Ryan in there as well. Lloyd Shepherd. And it's just a rolling maul. Goodall eventually comes away with it. Throws it on the left boot. And the mark's taken on the far wing.
Breeze has come up a little bit. If anything, it must be favouring the railway in to the left of screen, but it's no major consequence.
Zickman well down the ground. It's a short one to Wales. Happy to just tread water and wait for an opportunity to present itself. It does. Adiri Wickrama. Carey has gone back to the goal square, one out. He now goes, but they go short again. Crisfield, not 15, made to play on. They go again now, good. Widmer leads his player to the ball, pops it up, Goodall, splits one tackle, gets away from another, eventually gets the sweeping handball out to Wales, overruns it though, back onto it was Milner, and they're out through Addison. I'd like to see a bit more of Addison in this second half. The kick smothered off the boot, and Pennant Hills will come back, and they do so. In they go again, over the top, Widmer, and McBride doing a bit of kilometres at the moment, gets it back to Delaquila. Delaquila just chisels it forward to Zickman. A great kick, and Rod Craig had no chance of getting that one. The ball never got higher than 3 metres off the ground.
Beautiful pass from Delaquila. That one had Zickman's name on it.
Just needs to finish with the goal. Tough pocket to score from. The wind just pushing probably to his right to left. He'll have to kick it into the teeth. On the right boot too, just works it back. He celebrated prematurely, and it goes through for a minor score.
Very quiet afternoon, Zickman, but he's that sort of forward that could kick 2 or 3 quickly.
Go long now, Carey there. There's his Sharp. Sharp forced to do the punch from behind, and eventually goes over the boundary line. Been an issue for them this afternoon, Gus, the kick out of defence. Pennant Hills have set up well across half forward.
Yes, they found it hard to get that second kick following the clearing kick from the goal square.
McBride could have been a little push in the back there. Umpire let it go. Kieran Wright will get this one. You see it so often. And he's just weighing up his option. Crisfield presents, but he doesn't go there. He now goes again. Go long at the back. Oh, beautiful kick. Could have played there, but just not held. And come now. Kilworth drives it around, inside out kick on the right boot, and Kieran Wright again. It's like there's 3 or 4 of him across half back. That kick's not his best.
Lets himself down with that kick.
Turns it over to McBride. McBride, a great kick as well. Jones set a task.
I think he did very well to leave his opponent then and move forward, took the possession of the ball.
Widmer again. Jeez, he's been handy today. Pops it up, looking for Schooler, almost brought it down. Delaquila underground to Zickman. Zickman on the right boot. Just pushed it left. And another minor scored. 4 goals, 8. Pennant Hills. They do lead by 23 points over St George, who have only managed to kick 1 goal, 3 behinds. Once again, struggling to get the ball out of their defensive zone. McBride unable to pick it up, and it goes over the boundary line.
Could well have been a free kick to Ray there. His opponent appeared to scrag him from behind, but Umpire Kalasic does not see it that way.
Here it comes again. Forced to punch from behind. I think it was Schooler in the ruck. Just gone forward. Forcing Sharp to pick him up. McBride, arm around, could have got a free kick. Delaquila takes it away from the ruck. Pops it up, here is Widmer. He's just beset upon. Crisfield gets the roving ball. Pops it up. Zickman almost took the mark there. Addison pushing back now for St George. They're trying to inject him into the play a bit. And pushing him backwards. And it goes over the boundary line. A little lull from the crowd at the moment. Once again, the game not really reaching great heights. Just wants to open up at some stage. Schooler drops it down. Goodall busts one tackle, gives it off to Delaquila. He now drives it forward. Zickman the target. He's beset upon by 3, and a good mark taken. That's Jones. In fact, no, it's Sharp. He's been that extra man in defence for St George today, and he's done a good job. Kilworth takes his full time and kicks up. Parker just gets involved and makes sure that Nick Shaw didn't get a clean ball and over the boundary line.
Parker's been a very reliable defender again today. Not spectacular. Reliable. Dour, one could almost say.
Widmer back in the ruck. Pops it forward. Trying to get the boot on the ball there was Hare. And it's St George who come away with it. Kilworth drives them long. They go inside 50 for a rare occasion, but that man again, Kieran Wright, and he just repels everything that comes forward. Lloyd Shepherd now. Smith has to take it and got the free kick, just clumsy. And it was Harrison Green arguing the case, but the kick was there. Now Goodall presents. Goes inside. Oh, turns his player around there in Irwin. And Kilworth pounces. Goes short. That won't be 15. It'll be a turnover as well. And Goodall sees a player out in space. This is Widmer. Geez, he covers some Ks.
Sam Widmer.
And inside, Green takes the mark. And they go forward again. A 2-on-1 contest, and Kieran Wright there. Kilworth, not a bad option there just to try and get it going forward. And back there was Sam Widmer.
Here and Schooler, and now Ted Widmer involved.
And there's Sharp for the Dragons as well. And you want to be careful of dragging this one in. The umpire will look closely and we'll have a ball up. It was Milner at the bottom of the pack. Work from West. Drops it forward. Angel trying to get through traffic. Sharp beset upon. Angel again gives it up to Widmer. Has to turn and go. Now with Wales. Wants to work his way back on the left. Splurts, just threads it through to Crisfield. Crisfield. Kick offline and out of bounds.
He appeared to slip momentarily when he kicked that ball, but still it remains in the Pennant Hills forward line. Delaquila lurking.
Comes through. Crisfield's been the dangerous one forward this afternoon. Good work, Schooler. Might have held on a little long. And he's in trouble now. That was Sharp. Had to quickly. Now Crisfield swings it around. Oh, the bounce favours Rod Craig. And they get it out again. Just tripping over at the crucial stage there. Widmer gets up, pleads his case. But the ball is gone. Green takes the mark. Hands it off. Now St George building. They got one clear. It's Kilworth in side 50, and he'll kick from 40 out. Good passage of play. Not sure what Kilworth's wiping off the ball there. I reckon it's probably pretty dry out there at the moment. As Dom Kilworth will take a shot at goal for a desperately needed goal for St George. Just see Goodall there, just giving some advice as he comes in. Strikes it well. It's going to fade left though. And just a minor score, 1-4.
Yes, that was a very dangerous looking attack from St George. They managed to create the extra man, and Kilworth may well have done better than that result. Another behind to St George, their first score since quarter time.
Approaching the 10-minute mark, third quarter. Really, again, this game not opening up at all. St George go forward, and a good mark going back with the flight is Parker. Now he wants to try and get the ball moving through the middle. Whitmer tried to go without it. Did well to get the second option. They turn it around now. I think it was intended for Witt. Didn't quite get there. Shepherd will sit nicely for, and he can have a run. Throws it on the left. In fact, pulled the kick right at the last minute and did very well to do that. Got it to Nick Hay. He's got the zinc green on in the second half. Wales just couldn't take the mark. And they come out now. Zickman applies the tackle. Addison in there. Craig threads the needle. Gets it to Jones. Jones wants to go through the centre. Does very well. Gets around one. This here is Hodgson. Puts it on the boot. And out in front and holding there, Donahue. He looks a little underdone. And Irwin. Donahue asks the question. And Kalasic says, nope. Throw it in, thank you. Didn't have the turn there, Declan Donahue.
Yes, he certainly looks underdone, but then again, he's not played football for some time, so that's very understandable.
Pack forms. Widmer with a short throw in. Wales to Parker. Parker's kick just didn't drop off the boot well. Can't be deliberate if it's a missed kick. Could be the double whammy. Just a well-disguised missed kick.
I think we've all seen it happen.
West, another shallow throw in. The boundary umpire obviously feeling a little bit of fatigue in the third quarter. As Delaquila comes off for a rest, Madeira Wikrama goes in. St George needs some of their names to step up. Merson, who's had a good year for them. Addison could probably get a little bit more involved. Even Napa, not seeing a lot of it this afternoon so far. And in there is Green. Madeira Wikrama straight into the action. Tries to get it to Cam Smith. West knocks it down into the path of Frangos. Goes forward again. West might get it back. Over at Hodgson. Now St Pennant Hills have got the thing. Jones go underneath. Wales wraps him up. And we'll have a ball up. Another stoppage. Approaching the 12-minute mark. Third term. Low-scoring affair. Schooler gives it to Wales, who's standing right next to him. Frangos tries to get a kick away. Merson eventually gets the ball going forward. Up and under. Right with the big fist. Hodgson putting some energy into the football. Gets it across there to Sharp. Sharp loads up. How will it bounce? Over the back. And you just see there Napa in all sorts of space.
Yeah, some of the St George forwards who were prominent last week and the week before are not really sighted today. Nick Ryan's another one that's had a quiet afternoon.
Ryan, the third man up, gets the ball going forward, but it's into the path there of Merson, who just rides the bump from Witt. Umpire looked closely and said no prior opportunity.
The Pennant Hills defenders, particularly Kieran Wright and Lloyd Shepherd, they've really dominated their opponents.
Good work there from West to get the ball going down. A quick snap hits the post. 1-5 now, St George. They've had their opportunities also again in this quarter. Wright's kick is perfect. Found Angel.
Harry Angel pops it over his brother Tommy. Tommy in turn rang at Madeira Wikrama. I thought he was going to give it back to his brother again.
Crisfield comes down the wing. Too late now. Has to turn around. Goes back looking for Angel. Throws his body around a bit. Tom Angel. In fact, that's Harry.
That's Harry.
They posted Harry Angel. I think of him as a hair and no hair. Tom doesn't have any hair, but you know what I mean. St George get it going forward. Goodall, the old over-the-shoulder handball to Shepherd. Gets it down. This is Tom Angel. Just drags it back in. Want to be careful doing that. Umpire right there, and he's not going to pay it. Here's my mate. Doesn't pay holding the ball. West gets his body involved, but it just goes over the boundary line. And he comes to the bench for a rest. McBride straight into the ruck. And umpire's seen an infringement here. It's going to go against Harry Angel. And Napa's going to get the kick. High contact was the call. Stepping a little bit off ball. They drive forward. Ryan the target. McBride back there. Smith turns it back inside. Green under pressure. Couldn't bring it in. And coming through was Goodall. Left it behind. Oh, it was Widmer there. Was looking for it. Was right next to him. And umpire's seen a high contact. And it's going to go to Angel.
Harry.
Goes to Parker. There's some old heads playing on each other. Seb Parker and Declan Donahue. Ray. Green on the mark. Has to give himself some space. Goes laterally. Finds a Deary Wickrama. A quick kick over. Looks for Lloyd Shepherd. They looked at each other and said, yours. Between Shepherd and Goodall. And eventually Shepherd gets it. Goes back to Deary Wickrama and gets it back Shepherd. But they're just messing around with it a bit. Pennant Hills. Tried forward. Oh, good mark taken from Zickman. Too far out to score. Got Widmer on the lead. Crisfield would be the one to look out for. Zickman now, he's in two minds. Goes back to Ray. Doesn't really achieve anything. Joint gets about 5 metres. Now pops it up for Crisfield. Widmer there as well. Over the back of the pack comes Milner. And he drives them out. But Angel will take a mark. In fact, he won't. Just drops it. Green applies the tackle. Locks it in. Witt there pretending to help out. Comes out eventually. He's going to get a free kick from in the back. So they're lucky to get away with that one, Pennant Hills. Shepherd unsure as to who it's going to go to. Eventually comes back.
Dan Witt.
To Witt. Off to Smith. He needs the buzz cut for next week. Gus, get it back. Shorter Cam Smith.
Neither team scored a goal in the third quarter. It's been a tight battle of both defences. The game continues to be a lot of almost rolling balls.
It's interesting. It might be just the defensive mindset that both teams are in at the moment, thinking towards a grand final appearance against the Giants. The defence will have to stand strong. They like to move the ball quickly, the Giants, and the sort of rolling maul stoppage could be a tactic that both sides will look to employ.
I don't usually employ rugby union expressions, but you could almost certainly apply that rolling maul expression to a lot of the football we've seen here this afternoon.
Only one team can go forward this afternoon and play in the big show against the Giants. The Giants obviously going for back-to-back wins as Goodall hits the ball hard, gets it across to, it was Hay, and a nice little deft kick to Widmer.
It was Goodall that got the ball out to Hay, and Hay, a very quick thinker, even though he's only 17 years of age. He's got a good football brain, and saw Ted Widmer in front.
Throwing the grass up there, so the wind could be an issue unless he's employing the old Matthew Lloyd tactic. He used to throw the grass up at Etihad Stadium, which always amazed me. Widmer, the long walk. Now he trots it in, pushes it right, pushes it far right. Maybe he misread the grass, Gus.
Maybe there's a bit more breeze out there than we think. I can't really tell.
Merson. Overruns it, and St George. Every time they get the ball, it just appears to be a Pennant Hills defender right on their hammer.
The scoring's almost dried up. We've played now 18.5 minutes into the third quarter, and there's been 2 behind scored in this quarter by each team.
Not exciting football, but if you're a Pennant Hills supporter, you'd be fairly happy with the margin so far. 21 points in front, and they get another opportunity. Zickman. St George have only kicked 1 goal 5 for the game. Zickman dishes off to Angel. Angel will kick from a difficult pocket.
Angel of the Tom variety with 2 goals to date.
To Lull, as you said, just only behind scored, and we're into the 19th minute of the third quarter. Fortunately, premierships aren't won by kicking behinds. This being the premiership quarter. good roost from Angel. I tell you what, gave it everything. And over the back, Zickman has taken a mark. I'm not sure what Merson's claiming. Clean as a whistle.
This is Zickman's fourth attempt, or almost attempted goal this quarter, so he's now started to liven his game up a little bit.
From this exact spot,
yes,
out wide.
Should have a good read on this.
Gives it a bit,
and
spins it around, and that's the one they wanted, Pennant Hills. 27 points now in favour, and almost a winning margin. Still a bit of football to be played, but they'd be pretty happy with where they're at the moment.
Well, Zickman's been a danger forward the whole season for Pennant Hills, and as I said 10 minutes or so ago, he's had a quiet afternoon, but this quarter he's come back into the play, and that's his third shot on goal and his first major of the afternoon. And as you said, Craig, with the margin now at 27 points, I'm not going to be bold enough to suggest it's match winning, but by goodness, it's handy.
Well, they'll have to triple their score, St George, to win it. As they go forward, it's a good start, though. Napa. Drives them long, gives it every chance. In there is Milner. In fact, that's Wilson. And just goes through for the minor score. 1-6. St George. Just 12 points for the game. And this off the back of a very low-scoring game between Pennant Hills and the Giants. Let's hope next week's grand final is not as low-scoring. Good spot. Smother there from Milner. He's wrapped up, though. Could have been high contact. And it is. The umpire off the ball saw it. And Milner came up complaining until he was told he had the football. They come forward now. Plenty of players inside 50 for St George. Decides to go long to the top of the square. Big fly. Couldn't take it. Kilworth has come down with inertia. Whatever it is you get when you drop down that far. And that could be deliberate. The umpire will have a close look, and bang! Got him. Oh, this will be interesting too. That could have been 50, actually. Interesting off the bench, just held on the ball, wouldn't give it back. I suppose you can still give a 50-metre penalty against an interchange player. Tomlins inside, goes to Donahue, had no impact on this game so far. Addison, pretty much the same, I suppose you could say, for Bryce Addison. Comes out now, Tomlins scrubs it forward, looking west, and he goes over the top of Parker. A big tackle from Smith, and he's not happy. Free kick. It's against Cam Smith on Sharp, and just a little bit going on.
Yes, Cameron Smith was very vigorous in that tackle.
And got him high. And that's for sure.
Ben Sharp certainly knows he's been tackled. A kick from about 54, 55.
A bit too far out for Sharp. And look, the leads come now. He decides just to get it into the hot spot. Breeze took it very well. He got the distance, no worries.
Yes, I think the breeze is certainly a little stronger than we think it may be, and it's certainly favouring the left of screen end, the railway end.
Zickman a long way down the ground as the siren sounds for three-quarter time. And if you're a Pennant Hills supporter, you'd be pretty happy with the scoreline as it is at the moment. A very low-scoring affair here at Blacktown International Sports Park. Only 6 goals for the game. And the good thing for Pennant Hills is that 5 of those are on their side of the scoreboard. They lead going into three-quarter time, 5-8-38. St George just 1-7-13. The margin 25 points, and the goal scorers Gus.
Not many of them.
Zickman for that quarter.
Yes, Zickman's the sole goal kicker in the third quarter. Goal kickers to date, Tom Angel with 2 singles to Peter Barnes, Aaron Crisfield and Zickman, and the lone goal kicker for St George in the first quarter, Harrison Green.
We're 1 quarter away from finding out who it will be to take on the Manly Warringah Giants in the grand final next week. At the moment, all cards are lying in the hands of Pennant Hills. They lead by 25 points, but it's not over yet, and St George can come back. It'll be a big task, but we will find out in the final quarter and see whether or not they can meet that task, or whether the Demons will take on the Giants again in the 2014 grand final. Join us in about 5 minutes' time, and we'll bring you all the final quarter action. We're only 25 or so minutes away from finding out who will be the contender to face the Manly Warringah Giants in next week's grand final. At the moment, it's Pennant Hills by 25, and they are in the box seat to take on their nemesis again in the 2014 grand final. But there's still some football to be played, and I'm sure the coaching staff at St George have been formulating a plan to try and get themselves back in this game. They have to do something, because what they've been trying so far has not been working. So we get set for the final term in the preliminary final, and we're underway. Umpire calls play on. Hodgson just beset upon, and another tackle in the middle.
Very generous interpretation of a successful centre bounce, that one. It certainly came to earth outside of the circle.
The umpires are also vying for a grand final spot, I'm sure, and didn't want to highlight the fact it was just slightly outside the comfort zone. Get another go at it, right in the middle now. West and Widmer, no real winner in that battle. Goodall just drops it cold, has to go again. Throws on the left, just scrubs it forward. This one will toy with the boundary line and eventually go over, assisted by Green.
I think the breeze has picked up a little bit more than it was in the third quarter, and it's definitely favouring the left of screen or railway end to which Pennant Hills are kicking in the last quarter.
Won't help the Dragons' cause at all. Ball comes in. West over the back to Sharp, just scrubs it forward. Kieran Wright right there. Addison just clumsy into the back, and Wright's feeling it a little bit there.
He's been rock solid today, Kieran Wright. Just seems to read them play almost like a book.
Right, inside 50, great kick. Zickman on the lead, picked him out beautifully.
That's well within Zickman's capabilities too.
And this much easier kick than it presents itself to be, with that wind blowing from right to left. Just needs to get it up there, give it some air. Starts his approach. This almost put the nail in the coffin. Opens it up a little bit, gives it a little bit of a ride. In fact, he gave it too much. And it came back too far. 5 goals, 9 now, Pennant Hills. 1 goal, 7. The margin, 26 points. St George, they've struggled out of defence all day. Carey pops his head up, gets onto it, throws on the left boot. And it's gone over through for another behind.
You read that kick out very, very well. To cap it off, it would have been marvellous through to kick a goal, but another behind. Neither team have kicked accurately for goal. But Pennant Hills have got the all-important 5 goals to St George's 1.
And a slow burn. West almost pushed in the back. Gilbert just bumped off it by Parker, and he's down and has not moved. Parker goes again. Oh, and then he goes again, Parker. He just wants to take everybody out. Don't care what colour they're wearing. And he could be holding the ball, but it's my mate, and it's on. They want to be careful. There is a grand final to play next week as the emergency comes out. Widmer just holds onto the jumper. And play is underway. And now it's a high contact. It's going to go to Pennant Hills. But how about Parker? He just took both of them out. Yes. Firstly Gilbert, and then Shepherd.
Beautifully. Had no respect for the coloured jumper. It didn't matter. If he was in your way, I'm going to bump you.
And there was a Pennant Hills supporter giving it to Parker for bumping their player. And we go forward again. And St George this time, another scrubby kick. Oh, big hit on Goodall. He bounces up, a little bit weary. Shepherd has a kick, holding the ball. Is the call, didn't get it clear, and Kilworth and Goodall renewing acquaintances. Goodall want to be careful, he's way over the mark there. Kilworth goes inside, and there's a little fire in this game. It needed something. Maybe that's the coaching staff from St George. Maybe that was their call. Someone said cattle dog. As Rod Craig goes left to Milner. Milner tries to work something here to Tomlins. Sits up for him eventually, has one bounce. And gets it over the top, but the kick just played into the arms of Kieran Wright.
Again.
Sometimes he reads it well, sometimes they just kick it to him. Now Pennant Hills, look at this, Carey stops. Now goes, I don't know if you can do that. If you're 2 metres over the mark, you must go back. But anyway, I'm not umpiring the game. They go inside, Sharp, couldn't get it. Goodall just worked over the ball. Sharp goes again, good handball up from Wick, gives it to Irwin, drops it in, and Angel takes the mark. And they look good, the Demons.
Harry Angel looking for... Sorry, this is Tom Angel looking for goal number 3.
Come on, Gus. I know I can do it sometimes, but I was expecting more of you. Get these Harrys and Toms. I just say Angel, shot on goal. And he just works it to the left, so there is a definite breeze blowing to that end, Gus.
Yes, it's affected the flight of Zickman's shot. Certainly affected the flight of Tom Angel's shot that time.
What can St George do? They've just not showed anything. Donahue.
They've struggled in this zone all match.
Ooh, booming kick of the football. That one was just low to the ground. Going back, Goodall gets it, just drags it in. Umpire will have a close look at it. It's not my mate, so it could be holding the ball.
They've struggled, as in trying to get the ball out of that zone. They've defended pretty well, but to get the ball out of that zone and into the midfield has proven really difficult for them.
West just decides he's going to do it himself. Gives it off to Green, who puts it on the left shoe. Goes forward, and Kilworth. And they've negated the influence of Kieran Wright on this occasion, but that kick was dreadful going inside. Ray goes back. Campbell smothered, and eventually ends up with Parker. And Parker's kick is a good one, and the influence of Kieran Wright gets straight back into it. And that one's not a great kick. Craig. Short to Napper. Napper short again. Looking for Green. Takes the mark. This is Harrison Green. It's interesting. It's Tom Angel and Harry Angel, and it's Thomas Green and Harrison Green. Interesting to me, I suppose. They go forward, St George. They've taken a mark. And it is taken there by Nick Shaw. And this is desperately needed. The wind blowing in his face. Kick right into the teeth of it. Shaw kicks it. There's a free kick. He's over the mark inside the protected zone. It's against Goodall. And the 50-metre penalty will come, and it'll be a certain goal. Just wanted to get in there and give a little bit of lip, did Goodall. And it gave away the 50-metre penalty, and St George get their second goal for the game at the 7.5-minute mark of the final term.
It's taken a long time coming, that second goal for St George, and it's quite careless from Goodall there to infringe, but that's the rules of the game.
Margin 22 points at the 8-minute mark of the final term. And in the normal context of a game, you'd think that 22 points is not insurmountable, but scoring has been few and far in between in this afternoon's game. And Widmer wins this one out. And Pennant Hills go forward. Sharp over the top, trying to find Green. Goodall in there, just can't seem to find the ball this afternoon. Hasn't had his usual impact on the game. But they've had plenty of contributors, Pennant Hills. Be tough to find a best on ground, just due to the nature of the play. Coming away with it are the Dragons. Another one here would make it very interesting. Good work in defence. Finds Jones on the run, though. And St George have another opportunity. Pop it up. This will sit nicely for Addison. What can he create here? Doesn't take possession, just drops it, and the umpire will give a free kick. Well played, Addison.
Yes, it was well played from Addison. He disguised the possession or lack of possession beautifully. Shepherd was just unable to resist the temptation to bring him to ground.
He almost took the ball and laid it on the ground, and it was Shepherd that rolled over the top and held on. Addison to give them some sort of hope, St George, and he has pushed it left. 2 goals, 8, 21 points the margin. Certain feeling of desperation in the voices of some of the supporters. They just want to see another goal, put this one to bed, and they can start building the red and blue streamers for next week. Shepherd goes up for the mark. Addison going back with the fly to the ball. Couldn't bring it in. Goes again. Clumsy on Smith, but he gets away with it. And now it's Napa. Napa's ball spills free. Stephen Ray going across with it. Addison goes across. Umpire didn't see the high contact. And we'll have a ball in. 10-minute mark, final term. Pennant Hills by 21 points. McBride and Widmer go at it. Napa tries to build something. Green, ball spills free. Wales hits the ball running. In there is Angel again. In fact, it was Witt. And comes through. Carey in there at the bottom of the pack. Not seen much of that this afternoon. And the umpire will come in and ball it up. The Manly boys will be happy to see these two teams just jumping in on each other. Ray gets it to Wales. Wales to Angel, and his bootlaces couldn't find it. Hodgson with a little toe poke going through. Ryan back to Hodgson. The kick, the tackle came just at the last second there from Hare. Goes in front, could have been kicking in danger. Lloyd Shepherd gets away with it, and he puts it on the boot out into space. Now it's a foot race. Sitting up there, goes through the arms of Delaquila. Zickman, though, it finally finds his hands. Goes back to Shepherd on the left, going forward, and found Witt.
Fortuitously, I would think.
Easy for you to say. Fortuitously. Witt. Short, looking for Zickman again. Held in the tackle, tried to accentuate that. Umpire was having no part of it. Sharp and Craig couldn't work it out. Hodgson gets it clear, and they've got the kick over the top. What can they build here? Derek Rama, he's upended. Donahue went under and got the ball free. Goes forward on the mark taken by Shepherd. Good one.
Well, that was a strong mark. The St George player coming out of the back looked almost certain to take that.
Shepherd will load up. Goes long looking for Zickman. He just pulls out last minute. Just fades back to the goal square. Won't be a bad option though. There, Delaquila gets it through. Doesn't need him. And Delaquila's put the nail in the coffin. And this one's done. Pennant Hills are into the grand final.
Well, I'm not prepared to say that yet. With 12 minutes played, the margin the same as I think it was at three-quarter time. But that was a terrific shot on goal from Delaquila, and good strong lead-up work from the Pennant Hills midfield.
See here, the kick-in came from Lloyd Shepherd. You see Zickman just pulled out of the contest, went back to the goal square. Interestingly, no one went to him from St George. They didn't need it though. Delaquila picked it cleanly, threw it on the left boot, over the top of Zickman's head, and they got the goal. Good work there from Delaquila. We're back in the middle, and Gus McKernan, the non-believer, won't see this one until the fat lady sings the tune. But this one's done. There's just not enough time for the St George Dragons to score enough, especially with this defensive effort from the Demons. Good work from Irwin.
Yes, Bindi
Stops,
Irwin
goes the other way,
nicely.
gives it to Parker. Parker, long kick out of defence. Will sit up for Angel and Hodgson. Hodgson takes possession, gives it off, tries to find Milner. Milner tries to invent something, going towards Green. Wasn't 15, had to play on. They get it now. McBride finesses the kick inside. Couldn't quite find the target in Nick Ryan, I think it is there. And he lies on it. In fact, it's Addison. And the ball will be thrown in the air.
27-point lead to Pennant Hills. 13 and a half minutes played.
Hush over Blacktown International Sports Park at the moment. McBride tries to find Jones. Ray in there as well for St George, for the Dragons. And that's lucky. The free kick was given early, although it's going to go to St George. I thought Derek Rama's kick just pulled out of it. Didn't want to give away the 50. Addison, the recipient of the free kick. Now he just sets himself for a shot on goal. Be difficult from this far out. Have to kick through the wind. Gives it air. Sits up. Drops short. Where are the Crummers? Oh, trying to invent something there and almost got it through. That was Alex Wynn. But it hits the post. And the margin 26 points. Right, looking for Wales, 1-on-2. Wales stands tall. Didn't take the mark though. McBride trying to work and play around. Pops it up. Getting back is Smith. Gets in contest. Nick Ryan, handballs through. Smith again, goes underground to Hare. Back to Adiri Wickrama. Angel will get the sit on this one. They didn't even contest there. Donahue pulled out. He gets the ball eventually and throws it on the shoot. Inboard, and a good mark taken from Green. He's under some pressure. 15 minutes gone in the final terms. Sharp almost played on. Plenty, and someone's down there, and it's Gilbert. He's back on his feet. There's Lloyd Shepherd in the area. Jones on the boot. What can he do here? Comes back, and Wilson almost takes the mark. Parker there as well. Kieran Wright, just as easy as you like, goes and gets it and swings it out, and they're away. Hay has 1, 2. Now goes for the kick. Looks for Delaquila. Too far for him. Craig pounces. And at the bootlaces of Nick Ryan, Widmer picks it. Adiri Wickrama, touch ball off the boot. And still going forward. Good work there to get in front. Crisfield picks it.
Schoolar held him off nicely.
Crisfield goes inside. Look at the back of the pack. Angel snuck out the back. And please tell me Gussie kicks this. You're going to call it.
Let's wait and see.
Tom Angel. Shouldn't be an issue. Gets the kick away, and it's good. And Pennant Hills get another one.
It's Tom Angel's third for the afternoon. He's not a prolific goal kicker, but a very accurate one when he has the opportunities, and he's certainly done that today. And at the 16.5-minute mark of the last quarter, the margin now 32 points. And I'm almost prepared to concede that perhaps Pennant Hills have earned the right to play Manly Saturday at this ground for the right to be the Sydney's premier.
It's good work from Crisfield to get it to Angel in the first place. And he finished off with a nice goal.
The selection of Declan Donahue, great player that he is, it just hasn't worked for St George this afternoon. He hasn't played football for quite some time. He's had little influence, if any, on the proceedings. It's certainly not the outcome that the St George Selection Committee would have hoped by bringing Declan Donahue back for a big, big match like this one.
The coaching staff rolled the dice there, and it hasn't come up for them. Now Carey scrubs it forward, and Angel, the goal scorer, gets underneath this one. Plenty of air. And Rod Craig tracks it back and eventually goes over the boundary line. Not a bad result for the Demons. It won't be a long quarter. Most of the quarters this afternoon have been around that 23-minute mark. Well short of standard regulation. You usually get up to sort of 28, 29. West in the path of Angel, though. Spins it around. Couldn't get it around enough. Another behind. 7-12, 54. 2-9, 21 margin, 33 points. And it comes out to Hodgson. It's been lively for the Dragons. Another player that, well, they've missed Saddington today, that's for sure.
Well, with Saddington missing, I guess they had to turn to someone like Donahue, but it just hasn't worked.
Another player they've missed today also, Mudge, Jesse Mudge, one of the small men for the Dragons, was reported a couple of weeks ago and copped a 4-match ban for an elbow to the head of an opponent. And that's done his team no justice as well. West pops it out in the path of Addison. Addison spins around, wants to move the ball quickly. Top of the square, good kick, but Wales is there for the Demons.
As much as indiscretion hasn't done Pennant Hills much good either, because the opponent that he met that afternoon, James Dunn, has a hairline fracture of the jaw. He won't play a game this season either.
Lose-lose situation there as the kick comes forward from Crisfield. Zickman couldn't quite get there. Angel has been very good this afternoon. Gives it across. That was Hay to Adiri Wickrama. Tries to find Crisfield again, but the turnover comes. And Nick Ryan through the middle. Yeah, a bit of blow for Pennant Hills with Dunn, who was certainly a good contributor for the Demons. Here's another one, Goodall. Hasn't had his best game today, and that kick is indicative of that.
Oh, Jesse here, what a smother.
Now, chance for Wright to assess his options. Pops it up for Witt. Couldn't quite take the mark, falls into the ball. Tackled by Frangos, but he gets it to Crisfield. Crisfield just pops it up beautifully for Angel.
Tom has been keen to get his 4th goal of the afternoon. Right on his limit, I would suggest.
Well, all he needs to do is take his fully allotted time and get the ball forward. Percentage not a factor this afternoon, of course.
As we move to 20 minutes and 27 seconds of play. Good-looking kick.
Jeez, I tell you
Beautiful
what.
kick, but it's just offline.
7 goals, 13 now, Pennant Hills. Milner kicks to himself, brings it out. Goes short to Napa. Napa just couldn't bring it in. Angel there for the Demons, and it goes over the boundary line. Not a lot happening on the St George bench. They've almost conceded that this won't be their year again. They've gone close a number of times over the last couple of years, but unable to get across the line in terms of premierships. Kilworth, former Eagle. Interesting to note too that the Eagles will be back in the Premier Division competition with their Premier side, I should say. They've been still in the competition. That'll make for an interesting 2015. Hodgson on the left. Well read there by Irwin. Just popped up when needed today, has Irwin.
Oh, yes, he's unobtrusive.
Kieran Wright almost falls over, throwing the air swing. That'll be in the back against Goodall. It's been a bit of a dog day for Goodall today.
Yes, you mentioned about the East Coast Eagles returning to the Sydney competition with their best team. They never left the Premier Division, but their second-ranking side was representing the club, and they've not had much success over 3 seasons since they entered the NEFL. But that NEFL experiment is now over after 3 years.
It just goes out of bounds on the full.
Prior to that, of course, they won 3 consecutive premierships in the Sydney League, so they certainly could well be a force again.
Right now, it's going to be Pennant Hills and the Manly Warringah Giants who will battle it out for 2014 supremacy. Giants going for back-to-back premierships. '13, Goodall, short.
The Pennant Hills have now played the Manly Warringah Giants 6 times for 1 win in 2 seasons.
They're not Robinson Crusoe there, or that one's high against Craig.
Including last year's grand final when they went down by 8 points.
There's a lot of teams that have played them 4 times and not won one game, so
they're proving a very, very tough nut to crack in their second season only in the Premier Division, Manly.
Disciplined side, and Chris Yard will have his work cut out for him in grand final week to try and find a tactic that will break the reign of the Giants. Of course, they won it last year as the Wolves. Changed their moniker this year to the Manly Warringah Giants.
Yeah, it was amazing. They went to bed one night as Wolves and woke up the next morning as Giants. None of us who look at Sydney football closely are quite sure how that happened.
Free kick here came, high contact. Right. Up against, and there was Shaw. Sebastian Parker just hands it off. Can't do that, I don't think. Oh, and then Wright's thrown one. Kieran Wright's given away the 50. And the emergency umpire's out amongst it. Not sure if he needs to be out there, unless he's going to actually...
Several supporters at the fence are offering a good bit of advice.
Kicks the goal for St George. Go back and have another look at it. Just see here, Napper it was, and oh no, he played for it. Not much in it at all. Kieran Wright just wrestled to get the arms free. There certainly wasn't enough force to justify the way the head slung back there. Either way,
25 minutes of play. Everything's winding down, certainly, to a 28-point lead, possibly a 28-point victory to Pennant Hills.
Well, it'll wind down for about half an hour after this game, and then all eyes will be back on Blacktown International Sports Park next week as the Pennant Hills Demons will meet with the Manly Warringah Giants. And, of course, in between, we've got the big Feel and Medal celebrations tomorrow night. We'll bring you that live from the Daltone House as well. There's been plenty of contenders for this year's Feel and Medal, but only one will reign. That is, of course, if there isn't a tie at the top. And Green tracks it back. Whitmer, Feld. Carey loves swinging around on that left. Pops it up. Who's there for the Demons?
Schoolar's there.
Schooler is taking a good mark. It was well read. It was exactly where Carey wanted to put it.
Exactly where Schoolar wanted it, but he had the real sit on his opponent that time.
It's ticked over 26 minutes. This is the longest quarter of football all day. Schooler to get his name on the scorecard. It's all academic.
There's been an avalanche of scoring. There's 5 goals, possibly 6. No.
And you've just absolutely given it to him there.
4 goals have been scored this quarter, I beg your pardon, which is certainly the most of any quarter
4
this
of
game.
10. 7 goals, 14. They've had their opportunities as well, Pennant Hills. That's something they'll need to address throughout the week. Opportunities may be few and far in between come next Saturday afternoon, and they need to take them as the scoreboard sounds, the siren. And Pennant Hills have booked a place in the 2014 Grand Final with a 29-point victory over St George. And St George will rue their opportunity in 2014. They'll be back bigger and stronger next year, that's for sure. But the Pennant Hills Demons extend their season right to the end, and they will meet the Giants in the big show next Saturday afternoon, which we will bring you live from Blacktown International Sports Park. But get down here if you can to support your team. And Gus, as we wrap this one up, the goal scorers for both sides.
Well, Tom Angel led the goal scoring today for Pennant Hills with 3 singles to Aaron Christfield, Sam Zickman, Damien Delaquila and Peter Barnes. The 3 single goal kickers for St George, Bryce Addison, Harrison Green and Nick Shaw.
It's been an interesting game of football. It never really reached great heights here this afternoon, but I think we can confidently say no major injuries on either side as well, and that's good for the Demons. They will regroup, train throughout the week, and they will take on the Giants in the 2014 Grand Final, which will be an absolute doozy. The weather looks good for the week ahead, and we should have another cracking game of football to finish off what has been a very good season in the AFL Sydney competition. Gus McKernan, thanks for your support this afternoon, and I hope you enjoy the week and enjoy the game next weekend. So we'll be bringing you all that live. We're getting the old crew back together for the big premiership game next week, and it'll be some fun up here in the commentary box, that's for sure. So St George, commiserations. They battled hard this afternoon, but they just weren't good enough to get over the line. And Pennant Hills, well, their hopes are still alive as we wrap up here at Blacktown International Sports Park. Pennant Hills by 29 points, and the Demons meet the Giants in the 2014 Grand Final next Saturday afternoon. Join us then on AFL Sydney Live.